quality education that is free, that provide good quality health system that is free, provide good rail system, foreign investment, people will be busy. When they are busy doing something, life has a meaning. Nobody will give you 100,000 naira to go and steal a ballot box and get killed. Nobody will even think about it. The focus on government is too much because some people see it as a means to an end. By the time you see that what you're doing is more productive than you coming to steal money in government, I mean, think about it. Which president in this country or in Africa can be as rich as Dangote? Is Dangote a politician? Is he occupying a political office? No. Just producing this glass cup that is needed by the quantity of people can make you a multimillionaire. So when things are working right, that's the best form of security. Then the security operative too will have to think about doing other things. There are some countries where they don't have police. There are some countries like that. There are some countries where the prisons are empty because the government is doing well. So you just have to get the right people in government.
Some few years ago, I was in Antigua and Barbuda.
Okay.
And we drove past a police station, and they, by 4 p.m. they had closed. So we were asking the people, how come they are not working? And they said, well, they have nothing to do. So 4 p.m. they close. Well, if there's an emergency, you call the police chief, and then he begins to call his guys to come to resume because there's a problem. You see, so real security flows from the people. It's not from the barrel of the gun. The guns exist to protect when there's an infraction. You know, so people try to just understand that, look, if you get out of line, we are here to put you back in line. That's what it is. But it is the people that conduct themselves. That's why you have neighborhoods, even in this country and in some other parts of the world, where you hardly hear about crime. Because the people who live within that neighborhood, you know, do the right things and behave well.
All right. The president, a few days to election, sounded a warning saying that those who will snatch ballot boxes, one way or the other, that might be the last time they will do so. Even though his statement was misunderstood and it became a little controversial in some quarters and all of that. But however way, take that statement by the president, which depicts a resolution to kick out the issue or idea of ballot box snatching, if we have to take it from that perspective. And what happened? We heard of ballot box snatching. We heard of in fact, the burning of ballot papers here in Lagos and all of that. If you put that together, how effective has the president's statement been?
It has been very effective, unlike previous elections where people will have the effrontery to just go and snatch ballot box just with some cannabis and people will run away. You understand? The president's statement only is an African proverbial warning or advice that, look, like in Yoruba, they will say, Toba shere geri wolumo. You understand? If you walk on the fringes of the bridge and just a mere wind just throw you off, you lose your life. And we also saw in some part that it was not even the military operatives now. They're talking about the people's power, the people's will, a revolution, a mob coming after you. After stealing a ballot box, before the security operative can come in to save your life, the mob would have taken your life off you. And the mob has no face. You cannot arrest a mob. So the president have only told you that if you go to the extreme and take laws into your hands, before the security operatives come to rescue you, there's possibility that you can lose your life.
Mm. But wouldn't that be giving the go-ahead for mob action?
It's not go-ahead. It's telling you the consequences of your action. The consequences of some actions that you take. It's like telling someone that, look, if you take cocaine or hard drugs, you are going to lose your life.
Curtis, we had election observers who were in Nigeria, so many international and local election observers, and different statements from what they monitored. But talk to us about the impact of election observation generally. We have the former president of Tanzania, Jakaya Kikwete, who led the Commonwealth election observation to Nigeria. We had Festus Mogae around, also former president of Tanzania. We have former president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. We have former presidents all coming to Nigeria, you know, representing different bodies, international bodies. What impact do all of these have in the process?
Well, you know, I have this view, and I know it's not acceptable to everybody, but it's still my view anyway, that there is nothing wrong with observing election. But then he sends a message, and that message is that you are incapable of doing your own things well, except we tell you you have done it well.
Is that what it is?
Look, there's a distinction between monitoring, observing, and supervising. Now, what we find in our own part of the world is supervising. It's not monitoring, because then they get to make comments about whether the election was validly conducted or not. And sometimes their views are shaped by views of opposition. And I'm not saying just about this election, because, you know, before the 2015 election, the opposition party, the APC, depended on the verification of the monitors or observers, you know, as if that was the only thing that could tell us if the election was properly conducted or not. The PDP, again, in opposition, has followed the same. This is my view. We should be able to come to a point in our national development and growth that we can conduct our election and give the result to the world, and the world will accept. When they are holding elections in the United States or in the United Kingdom, Africans don't send people to go and observe you can, as an individual, sign on. I've gone to so many countries to witness how the elections are conducted, just to see how the process works. In fact, in 2016, during the US election, this chairman, INEC chairman, and I were in the same location in Washington. Professor Mahmoud, he was in Washington to observe how these things are done. But he wasn't like sponsored, or he was like in an official capacity where he's going to give a verdict as to whether the election was validly conducted or not. And that's what we have in this part of the world. But then I say to people, what has been the effect of past observation? Because we had election in this country where foreign observers told us it was horrible. Rivers State in 2015, they told us there was no election. That it was very violent, people were disenfranchised. But that election was challenged and it got to the Supreme Court. And what did the court say? The court upheld the election.
So election observation is a developing country thing?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Do Nigeria as a country send observers to the United Kingdom to go and observe their election and then pass comment?
It's all right. Let's. Ayodele, I wonder if you have just one comment in a few seconds.
Well, it is part of new colonialism.
Okay.
You understand? Like he said, there's a difference between observing and monitoring. Yes, they can come and observe as tourists.
Yeah.
In fact, to bring more dollar to our economy and all of that, but not to the extent to tell us what they do. Nigeria is a sovereign nation, and they should respect our sovereignty as much as we respect their sovereignty.
All right.
Sorry, sir. Do you even know the problem?
Yes,
where do they go to observe the election? In the city centers.
All right. We don't have... just let me put you all on hold. All right. It's still the Nigeria Vote Studios, and we have been talking about what is going on in parts of the country. Collation is ongoing, and we're waiting on INEC. And certainly TVC is bringing you, and will keep bringing you, the updates from parts of the country, north to south, east to west. And we remain the Nigerian news leader. Stay with us on TVC News.